readings from Phoenix coming at you tonight, and I want to introduce a segment. It's going to be in 3 parts, talking about the energy healing of relationships after an infidelity. And I was inspired to talk about this because I was watching Basketball Wives LA Season 4, Episode 8, with Brandy Maxwell and her husband Jason. And we are witnessing them going through couples counseling in an attempt to repair their marriage and to restore some trust. I could have picked any high-profile couple, I suppose, at all. Anyone off of Marriage Boot Camp, Jen and Ben, Kendra and Hank, Ellen and Tiger. You know, I could have been anybody. But these two, I was watching the show and their energy just really spoke to me in terms of both their willingness to move forward, but also just what was being said and what wasn't being said. So that's where we're going to pick up tonight, and that's who we're going to use as our case example when we're talking about healing relationships on an energetic level. I hope you stay tuned and you catch us in segment 2. Okay, we're back. So, picking up, let's talk first about Brandy, because she is the one who has been deceived, and she is the one who's struggling the most to move forward. For Jason, it's already in the past, and it is a common denominator that I've seen a lot in the media with couples going through similar situations, where the party who has caused the offense has admitted the wrongdoing, feels the guilt, and very much wants everything to be over with and to just be able to pick up and move on. The stress that they feel from witnessing their partner in turmoil and in pain weighs on them as well, and they begin to go, you know, wow, this is a great deal more work than maybe I had initially anticipated that it would be to try to get through something like this. The one who has been deceived or wounded, and I'm not using a victim kind of polarity here, because I do think that for the most part, and I'm not going to say 100% across the board, but for the most part in our lives, especially in free nations, I'm going to say that especially in free nations, we do have quite a level of control over what we agree to experience in our lives. So, but right now, her walls are up and her boundaries are out there. And the counselor had asked her, you know, are you punishing him? To which she said, yes, I am. But she also admitted that she feels owed, and rightfully so, because she is owed. They have a agreement, they had a vow, they have a contract, and he broke the terms of the contract. And some people would immediately say, okay, you broke the terms of the agreement, therefore they're null and void, and I want compensation. It's divorce, and that's where we're going right now. But not everybody's going to feel that way. It just kind of depends on your value system, and sometimes that's different in degree. Sometimes it's different in kind. Whether or not she should stay with him or not, that's that's not my business, and it's not the purpose of this video. However, I do feel strongly that when some kind of shock or trauma has happened, especially to the heart chakra, that Reiki and other energy modalities definitely have a strong place in restoring balance to the individual. Once that's accomplished, then also as a couple, energy healing and can come in and help to repair the auras of the couple and to make sure that they're relating to each other in a more symbiotic, cooperative manner. And also by addressing that heart chakra and beginning to clear out the blocks in the heart, it facilitates forgiveness much faster, because forgiveness is an aspect of love. Love comes from our heart, and unless it's open and it's breathing, you cannot even begin to offer or receive that forgiveness, right? So feeling owed, she feels owed, there's a debt. Now, we work on a really punitive society where we are very reward and punishment based. And it's a little bit unfortunate because we miss an opportunity to yoga, I believe, plays an important role. We're going to get into segment 2 of this. We're going to get into this in segment 2. We'll be back. I hope you join us. Hi, so we're back, and we had left off talking about karma yoga, which essentially breaks down to selfless action. Counseling doesn't really qualify as karmic yoga because there is an expectation on the result that the counseling will produce. And insofar that we can acknowledge that, we can also accept then that even the act of going to counseling puts an underlying pressure on there for it to be successful and for a reconciliation to be the end result. But I think when you look at things holistically, sometimes you have to step back and say, okay, what we want, what our goal is not necessarily this picture, but we want everything to be restored in terms of balance. Right, in terms of balance. A lot of times, the people who have stepped out of the relationship, when asked why they did it, initially they can't tell you. They don't know. They'll surrender quickly and say, I really don't know why I did this. Or, you know, if they're pushed for an answer, which they often are, because people want to know why. Why did this destruction take place? Why did we, tear apart everything that we had built for so long? And part of the reason I believe that people don't know is because it's shadow work, meaning that it is hidden. The work that they need to do spiritually to uncover it is hidden from them. Which makes me then think of a modality like the healing sweat lodge of the First Nations people. It's dark, you sweat, it gets moist. It is the return to the womb, and it is a place where we are confronted. We are confronted with ourself. Rituals like this that many original tribes had in order to restore a sense of justice, either to a particular party or the community at large. We don't have these in place anymore. We have a different structure. We have a penal structure. We have a reward and punishment based system, and therefore the actual healing is not a component of it. We're not restoring anything. We are simply trying to merit out the damage, right? So, but for the person who has stepped out of the relationship, being able to do their shadow work, I think, is an extremely important step to discover, where did I learn about the dynamics of a relationship and the dynamics of power? Was this a childhood experience, growth? Was this something I learned in my home environment? Is it also part of my cultural conditioning? Right? However, whatever, wherever it comes from, that's for that individual to do. The last thing that I want to mention is about courts, and we'll do that in the next segment. Hey again, last and final segment on infidelity, healing relationships. And what I wanted to say is that it is commonly acknowledged in a lot of spiritual traditions that intimacy, intimacy, creates energetic bonds between people. Some people call these soul ties. Some will say these are cords of attachment. In love affairs, it's more common to find the cords being attached at the sacral, Svadhisthana, and Muladhara chakras, if it was based out of our base desires of lust. And what that means is that even though the event is over, even though the affair is over and it's ended, energetically there is still a connection between those two people. And when the person returns to their former partner, their girlfriend, their wife, even if she's not a sensitive or she's not an empath, on a subconscious level, her aura is definitely picking up on the spiritual debris of her partner and having to process that and having to understand that. So a spiritual cleansing is really, I think, prescriptive before you can ask the married couple to kind of reunite. Spiritually cleanse and ensure that energetically the ties of the other lovers or the affairs are no longer present in your energy system. That will, again, help facilitate being able to move forward, which is what everybody wants, but those are the obstacles that are in the way. And psychologically, we speak of our emotions, but emotions are really just energy in motion. And when you understand that they exist on a cellular level, they exist on an energetic level, then it's allows us to kind of use other modalities like Reiki, EFT, which is a tapping, belief repatterning. What else is there? Aura healing, to go in and to help facilitate the process of restoring balance. Anyways, those are my thoughts, those are my notes for the night. I hope you enjoyed our segment. If you have any comments, you know where to write them, and I'll see you next time. Bye.